The real estate interview process is a pretty unique way of hiring. And if you're coming from another industry outside of commercial real estate, you probably don't know what to expect going in. The people you'll meet with, the questions you'll be asked, and how many interviews you'll end up having all tend to be some of the biggest question marks for new entrants into the business. And although the answers to these questions will obviously depend on the size of the company that you're interviewing with, the position that you're applying for, and how many other applicants are vying for the role, I've seen some pretty concrete patterns during my time in the industry that might be helpful for you if you're looking to break in. So in this video, to help you navigate through the commercial real estate interview process for analyst and associate roles, let's talk through exactly what this process actually looks like, including who you'll meet with, what you're likely to be asked, and how long you'd expect to be interviewing before receiving an offer. So let's start with one of the most commonly asked questions by commercial real estate job seekers, and this is, how long should I expect this process to be? In most cases, the real estate interview process consists of about 4 to 6 rounds, ranging from the standard get-to-know-you interviews all the way to a potential Excel modeling exam, and in total, it can often take anywhere from about 4 to 8 weeks to go from start to finish. And the way this process generally starts is with a first round interview, often with HR or an external recruiter, and sometimes at smaller shops directly with the hiring manager, him or herself. And these conversations are usually conducted over the phone or via Zoom with the goal to learn more about your background in addition to what's on your resume, and to give you some more context around the position and to gauge your interest in the role overall. A lot of people get concerned with potential technical questions that might come up in this round, but in my experience, it's very, very rare to be asked many or any technical questions related to Excel or commercial real estate finance at this point. And in most cases, if these types of questions do come up, they're generally going to be related to very basic concepts like cap rates, interest rates, or your opinions on the overall real estate market, which don't necessarily have a right or wrong answer. The goal during this stage, especially for analyst and associate level roles, is to very clearly show your commitment to commercial real estate, show that you've taken the time to research the company and you're being intentional about your job search, and to be able to talk through your background and how that makes you a fit for the role you're interviewing for. Now, once you get through the first stage of the process, the next 1, 2, or even 3 rounds of interviews are generally going to be in-office meetings directly with your hiring manager, but also with other members of the company that you may be working directly or indirectly for, often meeting with multiple different people at the same time. This is when you'll start to run into a pretty wide variety of personalities and a lot of people that don't know anything about you and haven't read your resume. So at this stage, you'll need to be prepared to quickly and concisely talk through your background, often multiple times in the same day, and you'll need to be ready to remember a lot of names and faces. At this stage, you'll often be asked to talk through some more concrete details about your real estate related experience and the accomplishments you've had throughout your career or even academically. And unlike when talking to people from HR or recruiters, these interviews are going to be with people who really know real estate, meaning that these questions are going to be used to get a sense of your understanding of commercial real estate finance and your general knowledge of and interest in the real estate industry as a whole. And how long this part of the process goes on really depends on how big the company is and how many people your hiring manager wants you to meet. And this is where the process can start to get pretty tiring when you're sitting down with so many different people, essentially being passed around the office every time you come in. At this stage, it also starts to become more likely that you'll be asked a few technical questions, again, usually not overly complicated, but sometimes spanning topics like the IRR, the equity multiple, or the effects of changing interest rates on the market. And while these questions aren't very common outside of a formal technical modeling exam, you'll still want to be prepared in case these come up. The goal here is to come into this part of the process being able to clearly talk through your experience and your accomplishments, and also to be able to connect that experience to the job you're interviewing for as clearly and concisely as possible, ultimately coming across as a personable, hardworking candidate that has both the background and the knowledge required to succeed in the position. Now, once you've made it through this part of the process, the next step from here for many analytical roles is going to be a technical Excel modeling exam where companies will actually put your skills to the test on a sample investment case. Now, a lot of people get worried about an exam coming up unexpectedly during this process, but in my experience, companies will almost always tell you before an exam is given, and many will even give you insight into the general structure of the test and some things you should prepare for before the assessment. Some modeling case studies are in-office timed exams where you'll usually be given anywhere from about 1 to 4 hours to complete the test, and others will be take-home assessments where you'll usually have anywhere from about 3 to 7 days to complete the assignment, but again, this will usually be communicated to you before stepping into the exam. Now, there are a lot of other videos on this channel that cover the content of Excel modeling exams in more detail and how I recommend preparing for these assessments, and I'll link those in the description below. But one important thing to note about these tests is that these are generally not going to be pass or fail exams. Instead, these are really used as an opportunity for the employer to take a closer look at your Excel skills, your commercial real estate finance knowledge, and how you work and think under pressure. So while you do want to perform as well as you can on this assessment, this is just one of many ways a company will evaluate you. At this stage, your goal should be to come in with a strong knowledge of Excel and real estate finance, and ideally having completed a few practice exams like the ones we have inside Break Into CRE Academy. And if you can do this and perform well on the test, you should be in great shape to move forward with the process. And if you are moved on to the next round after completing the test, this tends to be a really good sign. And at this point, you're usually in the home stretch of the interview process and very likely coming up on the last 1 or 2 rounds. At this stage, you'll likely be meeting with the head of your department or even the CEO at smaller firms, and this is the point where you'll typically start to hear a lot of questions around where you want to take your career in the future and how you can see yourself growing within the company long term. People in senior leadership roles tend to pay a lot of attention to the culture of their organization, including succession planning and leadership potential among young talent coming into the firm. So this phase of the process is often going to be focused on confirming your interest in both the commercial real estate industry as a whole, as well as the specific part of the business the company operates within. At this point, you also may be meeting with other analysts and associates on the team, usually to allow you to ask questions about what working for the company is like and what working in this specific role actually looks like on a day-to-day basis, and to hear the answers directly from the people in the trenches. The goal at this point is for you to get clarity on whether the role in this company is the right fit for you, and for the company to confirm that they believe that you can help them succeed and grow over the long term. And if you can do this and all goes well, this is finally when you'll usually see an offer. Ultimately, this is a very lengthy and time-consuming process that in a perfect world, you don't want to have to go through multiple times. So if you want to make sure that you have the skills you'll need to succeed in real estate interviews and to pass an Excel modeling exam if one is given to you during the process, as always, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Break Into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, and you'll also get access to the Break Into CRE Analyst Certification exam, which covers topics like real estate pro forma and development modeling, commercial real estate lease modeling, equity waterfall modeling, and many other real estate financial analysis concepts that will help you prove to employers that you have what it takes to tackle the responsibilities of an analyst or associate at a top real estate firm. And if you like this video and want to see more content on the real estate application or interview process, make sure to hit the like button and let me know. And if you've been through the real estate interview process before, let me know in the comments what your experience was like and how many rounds you had to go through. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.